Stirring the chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your chopsticks at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Ethiopian, earthy, floral. I love it. If you have the same coffee over and over and over, you really don't appreciate it. And I really appreciate it. This is Ethiopian has been my favorite for a couple of years now. Prior to that, I was a huge Sumatran fan, which I did get some Sumatran coffee, and I'm going to probably have that tomorrow now that I think about it. But I love it. In the unstuck coffee mug, of course. This picture gives me a good feeling. How about you? When you see this picture, what does it invoke in you? Put your answer down below. What do you see when you see this picture? When I think about those nights in Montreal, I get the sweetest thoughts of you and me, memories of love above the city lights. I've tried so hard to take it, but alone my heart won't make it. Gino Vanelli, 1978. Great song. Little factoid about Gino Vanelli. He was the first white guy to ever show up on Soul Train. Interesting, right? Did you ever watch Soul Train when you were growing up? But I grew up in a generation where there wasn't racial division like there is today. And at the end of my Saturday morning cartoons, what was always towards the end of the morning? There was like Johnny Quest. Towards the end of the morning, Bill Cosby. And then Soul Train. Don Cornelius. And then, of course, when I was a younger man and I first entered into the media, I had a radio show called the Midnight Soul Patrol, and I played soul music. You don't hear the word soul much anymore. You hear like R&B. In my day, it was called black music or soul music. You don't hear a lot, like there was no hip hop. There was funk, but there was no hip hop, there was no rap at all. You didn't even hear the word R&B until a little bit later in the 80s. And it was pretty much black music. That was it. And there was black radio stations. And they were excellent to listen to, especially they had the best night shows, overnight shows. The guys had the best voices. Hence, think about it. I did a show called the Midnight Soul Patrol, where I played Brothers Johnson, Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones. And by the way, the name of my show was named after a song by Quincy Jones called Midnight Soul Patrol, and that was the theme for the show. I can't wait to vote for fill in the blank because I saw so many of their campaign signs on people's lawns said no one ever. I think that lawn signs are just virtue signaling. Like, I'm showing you that I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. Independents don't care. Sometimes, I remember when Tea Party people were first out, which eventually moved to independent conservative or libertarian. But the whole Tea Party thing, I get it. I get the Tea Party. I do. And I understand the reason why they call themselves the Tea Party. But it's kind of like the libertarians. They just can't get their crap together. So that's why I had to move to call myself a conservatarian. I don't want to be a part of a party. But in many states, you have to pick a party to vote, which blows. I don't like that at all. And I don't want to be in one of two or one of three parties. I don't want to be in one, two, or three of anything, of any category. Do not put me in a category. I'll never forget in college. I'm a young man, maybe 19 or 20 years old. And I said something about a black girl, and she said, "Excuse me?" She says, "I am not black. I am dark brown." I said, "Okay." She goes, "I'm tired of you white guys." And I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. I am not white. This is white. I am beige. And I'm tired of you telling me." And then she started laughing. She goes, "Okay, I get what you just did." I go, "See?" I said, "We are more alike than we are different." Do not put people into categories. We use categories to make ourselves a little bit more comfortable. And then people virtue signal their categories. You saw the picture of me doing the commercial recently, right? I'm in several ads right now. First commercial I've done in 7 years. I'm in several ads right now. I'm in a brochure about insurance. When I get it, I will show it to you. But there's a brochure going around where I'm on the cover of it. And in all of my commercial work, 350 commercial gigs that I've done in my lifetime, 350 TV commercials, radio commercials, hosting, narration, modeling work. In all of that, I have never been a Caucasian man. Never. Never. Why is that? Because I look just enough like something else, but not too much like something else, to be considered a straight, just a pure white guy. So I end up being what they call, what's the word they use now? Because the word changes every couple of years. They used to say ethnically ambiguous. That was a big word that they used to use. Well, is he white? Or is he Hispanic? Or is he Middle Eastern? Is he Armenian? Because I had a different look. Just imagine me with black hair. I do not look like your typical waspy American guy. There's a little something different there. So when my hair turned white, I ended up being the Hispanic grandfather, the Hispanic husband. I played a Middle Eastern guy. I played an Armenian guy in a commercial. It's all about perception. And I have nothing to do with how people perceive me. So in the latest commercial that's happening in Pennsylvania right now, I have a darker skinned wife. I didn't choose that. They paired the husband and wife together, which I'm cool with. I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't want to be categorized. When I get the notices for commercials, I have an agent in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, who emails me and calls me and says, "Hey, we have a job for you. We're looking for a 60-something-year-old Hispanic male with a white beard." Okay, I'm in. "Hey, we're looking for a grandfather, possibly a Northern African, Egyptian, Tunisian grandfather type, to work in a store as a clerk, and you're going to be greeting American tourists." Okay, I'll do it. Doesn't matter. But I really don't like categories. Don't like categories. I don't like things that signal, I'm white, I'm black, I'm Catholic, I'm Christian, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm this, I'm that. Shut up with your labels, please. I do a lot less label talk than I did 20, 30, 40 years ago. When I was on the radio, I'll never forget, I would play songs and I would talk in between. Now imagine an evening radio show. I'm alone in the studio, literally taking albums off a shelf while songs are playing, and I have my playlist lined up, and I'm queuing up records, and in between, I just bring the mic down, and I'm saying, "Welcome to the Midnight Soul Patrol," and I had a fake name, and I give a little history of the band that I'm playing next, and then let people know I will be taking some calls and talking about life. The number is blah, 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 whatever. And then I would do public appearances And people would say, whoa, you're a white guy. And of course, then I would be like, excuse me, I'm beige. They did not expect it. Categories. Categories. We need them. That's the good news. We have them. That's the bad news. They help build tribes. They also divide. They are a curse and a blessing. Remember the first time you saw the show Roots? Remember that? I don't know if you ever saw Roots in the 70s. Kunta Kinte was tied to a tree and they were whipping him, and one of the guys that captured him said, "Oh my God, his blood is red." You know, no matter what color this is, the blood is red. Can we look maybe a little further deep than just skin color? Is that a possibility? Just try it once. Just try it today. Do an experiment for those of you that are really into categories. Now, people's behavior is different. Okay, I treat people according to their behavior, but they start out with an A. Everybody has an A in my book, and it's up to them if they want to bring it down to a B, a C, or a D. But can we go deeper than just appearance? Is that a possibility? I have always been one that had different friends. Now, sure, do I have my posse of like good-looking, studly guys that I would hang out with? Sure. Yeah. But I also have my group of friends that are the biggest nerds and geeks you've ever seen. Men and women. And I love having my geek squad. Love it. I prefer my geek squad over anything else. I truly do. I've hung out with some people that the cool people would say, "Why are you hanging out with them? Why are you hanging out with those losers?" And my thought would be, why are you referring to them as losers? Because they don't look a certain way. They don't act a certain way. They're not cool. They're not fashionable. And you know what? The people who made those accusations are no longer in my life. So who are my friends? Anyone. You cannot categorize. You could not categorize my friends at all. I have the absolute most diverse group of friends you have ever seen in your lifetime. You could never, ever pin me down. Never. Because I saw deeper than skin. I don't see much deeper than behavior, but I see deeper than skin. How the heck did I get on that topic? That was unintentional. Nothing like getting kicked in the head with the truth and then saying, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" That was from Grant Cardone, talking about life lessons. They will take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. Carole King, from the song You've Got a Friend in 1971. What a great song. Do you know the song You've Got a Friend? James Taylor did it as well. Incredible. I like both of their versions. If someone asked me, do you like James Taylor's version or Carole King's version? I actually like both. They're like two different songs to me because they're both so gifted. Do you like James Taylor? His nickname in the music industry is Sweet Baby James. If you get his first album or just get the best of James Taylor, you will love it. Don't question it, just get it. Get it, listen to it for a week, and then get back to me in the comments or email me, gb@georgebruno.com. Put on the headphones and listen to James Taylor. Incredible. You'll get goosebumps. He's wonderful. So gifted. He struggled with heroin. Of course, he was married to one of my favorites of all time. One of the most amazing lyricists and composers of all time, Carly Simon. And they had one rough marriage. But both so insanely gifted people, just incredible. If he has dread in his eyes, it's over. If a man is living with the dread that his wife could possibly leave at any moment or be attracted to another man, it's over. Dread is limited in its ability to keep somebody. Keep that in mind. I absolutely accept everybody. I do not eliminate people because of behavior or their language if it doesn't affect me, because that's where they are at right now. I do not judge people in that way. Now, if you're a jerk to me, I don't need you in my life. You're gone. Simple as that. But for the most part in my life, my judgmentalism is reserved for me, because that's how I grow. I stunt my growth when I criticize others from a point of self-righteousness. And you will do the same. You will stunt your growth. If you're going to criticize anybody, criticize yourself. And then do something about the things that you criticize. You reduce obsession and attachments by having options in life. And you always hear that those options need to be women. Now, this is for the men. I invite you to consider that you, sir, are the ultimate option. Choose you. You need to get out and work out, have a cigar or a pipe, a glass of bourbon, go to a movie by yourself, take a 5-mile walk, have a reading list, have several books that you're reading at one time, that you go through a chapter or two a day. Keep the data coming in. Keep the data coming in. Okay? You'll be more interesting, and you will like yourself more when you are more interesting. Not just working like a hamster on a little wheel. You are more than a beast of the field that lives to eat and eats to live. You are a man with a purpose. And when you build the, oh, my little stray cat just showed. I have a 3-legged stray cat that shows up. Good morning, little one. You hear some guys talk about being on your purpose. I like that. That's a good message. That's a very good message. To be on your purpose. As a matter of fact, I might even interview the fella that talks about being on your purpose. His channel is AMS, called Alpha Male Strategies. George, why would you have a guy like that in your channel? Because I believe he has a message that men need to hear. That's why. Some guys would say to me, yeah, but he's one of those red pill guys. I don't care. Yeah, but he's a black guy. I don't care. Yeah, but he does this, he does that. I don't care. He's been kind to me. And I get along with him. And I've had several phone calls with him, and I will continue to do so. I don't want this channel to be monolithic in the sense that it is a old white guy wisdom channel. I have got subscribers that are in their 80s, and you know who you are. You're watching right now. I've got subscribers that are 14 years old. I have men, women, black, white, Asian, heavy, thin, jacked. Let me put it this way. There is no such thing as a typical subscriber to the Sultan's channel. And I'm very, very happy about that. Very happy about that. I'm proud of the fact that you can't pin me down. All I can say is that the people who tune in here are people who love wisdom. Not just knowledge, but wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. And that's why I interview different people. I'll never forget I interviewed Mike Cernovich before he and I became friendly. And there were people that said, I'm unsubscribing because you had Mike Cernovich on. I thought, okay. And then there were people that said, I'm subscribing because you had Mike Cernovich on. I'm like, okay. And I've had that with almost every single person that I've had a video conversation with. I can't believe you would have them on your show. Oh well. Does that mean I agree with everyone who sits across the table from me or on the other side of a Zoom call? No. But we get along. I could actually have an interview, a conversation with someone who I really despise, and it would be an interesting show. Let me think about who I really don't like, and I will have them on the show. That's one of the things. That's a goal. In the next month, I'm going to have someone on the show that I don't like. And you will not be able to tell the difference, because I will treat them with respect. And if there's going to be any problems, it'll be on their part, not mine. And most likely it will be a good show. I have a subscriber in Sydney, Australia, a female, and I told you about her. She says, about a month ago, I sent you an email about my take on the red pill. Having read comments on your channel after the email was aired, I realized I actually do not fully understand anything about it, even though I have since gone on to find out more about it via YouTube and other platforms. I am profoundly aware of my ignorance on this subject and how I am uniquely unqualified to comment on it. Listening to the red pill guys leaves me feeling flat, invisible, and irrelevant. I'm not young and fertile. I don't have the beauty of youth. Neither my parental efforts nor my social economic achievements count, in fact, are open to criticism. In short, according to them, women like me are beyond contempt or consideration. But what's funny is that some red pill guys on YouTube are closer to my age, bragging about spinning plates, the high value of 24-year-old girls, the wall. To me, they sound like deluded, dirty old men. I realize there must be a reason why all this began. Is it because feminism went too far? They talk about evolutionary reasons to explain female mating behavior, but few are qualified in this field. In fact, they present graphs and make assumptions based upon no scientific evidence. Women are now living longer in the same confusing dynamic society that men are. It is feasible that the wall needs redefining. I don't believe that women, young or otherwise, are as calculated or as driven by biological imperatives as these guys say we are. I believe life happens to all of us. They're trying to work it out, good on them, but they seem like they have a long way to go. Thanks again, and then she gives her name. Very interesting, isn't it? From the other side of the world, down under, there's a female, a little bit older, giving her take on a portion of men. And I think she just about nailed it. This is not a woman who studied all this stuff. These are just mere observations that took place over like a 2-week period. Her email prior to that, she didn't have these kind of insights. I think that's fascinating. They have a long way to go, and I agree. But I will add to that, we all have a long way to go, male and female. And what I don't like is men who don't have their crap together criticizing and categorizing women who might not have their crap together, when the reality is no one has their crap together and everyone's trying their hardest. Some are not trying their hardest. But the reality is the easiest way to deflect from your own bullshit is to accuse someone else and deflect off of yourself and put the attention on other people. And the more that people talk about other people, the more I think that they are deflecting off of themselves. That's what I think. It's a diversionary tactic. What are your thoughts about it? Finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show. It really is the end of the show right now. This is your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.